Okay, hello guys, are you able to hear me? If you are able to hear me, please type in the chat yes if you are able to hear me in the comments. Okay, great,
Hello,
great, great.
hello. Yes, sir, I'm
Yeah,
audible.
yeah, Mansi, I can hear you.
Yeah, sir, can we start once again?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. We can start. Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. Sorry for the inconvenience. This is Mansi welcoming you to this event from Women Tech Makers and GDG Gwalior. We conduct events like these almost every month so that you guys can learn more about open source and Google technologies. Mrs. Geeta Kakrani is the chapter lead of this organization. She is also the CEO of Kanishka IT Private Limited, and she has played a big role in making these events happen. This is the core team of four co-organizers and four event organizers with whom we have managed to conduct events every month successfully. Now, without further delay, we are going to start with today's event. So I'm going to hand it over to my co-anchor Aditi. I think there is some issue with Aditi. So let's start. I'm going to invite today's speaker, Mr. Anubhav Sinha, who is a former GSoCer and has won multiple hackathons like Atlas Hack and Hack MRU. Sir, good evening to you, and GDG platform welcomes you.
Okay, hello Mansi. Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you share my screen once,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
live?
yeah.
So, yeah.
Sir, you can share your screen now.
Okay, great. So I hope guys you are able to see my screen. Just wait, let me present my screen once. Okay, great. So are you able to see my screen and are you able to hear me? So just give me a confirmation like if you are able to hear me. Okay, good, good. Okay. So I have got one confirmation. Vishal is saying he can hear us. Okay, great. So let's start. So guys, first of all, just tell me about your college and in which branch you all of you are, so that I get to know about all the viewers who are there. Just tell me about your like college and branch, so that I get to know about you also. So afterwards, I will start. Okay. 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 Someone is doing okay. ITM Thapar. Okay, great, great, great. So I guess we have a good audience. Okay, great, guys. So now let's start. Okay, so now all your tasks should be to like focus on the things which I am saying, and then all of you can ask your questions after this, and I will be surely taking your questions. Okay. So first of all, before continuing, let me tell you about myself. Like, who am I? Okay, so my name is Anubhav Sinha, and currently I'm in my final year of like JIIT, that is JP Institute of Information Technology in Noida. Okay, and like I was a Google Summer of Code student in 2019, and the organization name was Oppia, which is actually an open source project of Google only. So that is actually managed by Google. And currently, like I am working as an coding instructor at Topper and CAMT 12, and like I have won two hackathons like Atlas Hack and Hack MRU, and I'm also the student. I'm also the chairperson of the IEEE student branch JIIT. So guys, let's now continue. So like that's about myself, and let's now continue in the next slide. Okay, now let's continue. What is open source? Okay, so first of all, like the question comes in everyone's minds, like what is open source and like what it is. Okay, so in general, you can say that open source refer to any program whose source code is made available for use. Okay, and you can modify it and even you can like tweak it to your benefit. Okay, so you can say that if any software is open source, you will be able to find its all the code, in which language it is written and what are the lines of code they have used. You will be able to find it mainly on any like this website, either GitHub, GitLab, or many other websites. Okay, so this is the meaning of open source. Okay, like open source refers to any program whose source code is made available for use. Okay, now the question comes like, what is open source software? Okay, so open source software is any computer software that's distributed with its source codes available for modification. Okay, like people can like upload their code, okay, open source their code so that everyone can see it and everyone can modify it as per their convenience. And that means it usually includes a license for programmers to change the software in a way that they choose. They can either fix bugs, functions, or adapt the software to suit their own needs. That is what it is. Like you can either improve the software, or you can like fix the bugs in it. You can improve the functions, or like you can anything you want to change according to you. You can do that. So like this is all about open source software. So in simple terms, in layman language, you can say that an open source software has its source code available for modification, like it's visible to everyone. So that's a simple use, that is simple meaning of open source software. Now the question comes like, what are the examples of open source softwares? If I say like these are some common examples which I have put up. Okay, one is Google Chrome. Okay, as you can see, one is VLC media player. So this is actually the media player which everyone uses. Okay, so this is actually the most common media player which everyone uses. So like this is also an open source. Okay, and the next is Mozilla Firefox. Okay, like this is also an open source browser, and one of the good editors in like industry is VS Code. Like approximately many people would be using it because it is like you can say editor of Microsoft. And it is also an open source software, and like you can go to the GitHub and check. You can go to the GitHub and check whether this thing the code of VS Code. Okay, you can like check out that. And the next is Ubuntu. Okay, it is actually an operating system which is based. It is actually a distribution of Linux, which like many people use. Okay, those who know Linux must be aware about this Ubuntu. Okay, so now let's start moving up to the next main topic, like how to start contributing into open source. Okay, like first, like let's see like how you can contribute into open source. Like what are the various like benefits of contributing? What are the different ways in which we can contribute? Okay, so like when like let's suppose anyone, if anyone is there, okay, what is the biggest fear he have? Okay, when he wants to contribute to open source, one asks a question to himself or herself, like how to start. Okay, like am I good enough to start? Okay, like one thing one person consider, like is he good enough to start contributing to open source? Or a bigger fear is that because the code base of any open source project is quite big. Okay, because the number of lines of code it has is approximately into lakhs. Okay, so like the question comes like, how can I understand the whole code base, and what are the different languages, okay, in which you can start contributing? Okay, and the next is, what are the prerequisites? Okay, like what are the prerequisites? Okay, so next come, let's see one by one. Okay, first of all the question comes like, what are the prerequisites? Okay, so if I say like, if you want to uh, you can say contribute to open source, the only the prerequisite is that you should know any one language. Okay, it can be C, it can be C++, Java, Python, or anything you want. Okay, it should be any one language. Okay, so next thing what you want to do, you should know the, like you should be aware about that language, like what are the basics of that language. Okay, like you should be know you should be like known about its oops concept, and like many more things about a particular language. It's not necessary like you should focus on 2 to 3 languages, only one language, and you should learn it very well. That's the most important thing. And the next thing is that you should know the basics of that language that I told you, and you have made like few self projects in that language. What I mean by self projects, let's suppose I am familiar with Python. Okay, so what I want, like I should know about the Python, its concepts of oops, and I have made few projects in Python. Okay, like my project should be based on Python so that I get to know like how a project is made. Because if you like contribute to open source, what happens? Like you must be aware about the how a project is actually built, like what are the various components of building a project. So that's pretty important. So that's why I'm saying, like, first prerequisite is you should know any language. Then you should have made at least 2 to 3 self projects. If you have not done that, then please do that. And the next thing is that, like, you should know about what is version control. Okay, so now this thing is pretty like a term which you must not be knowing, many of you, but more like some of you might be knowing. So this is known as version control, and a good tool to of it is Git. Okay, so you have learned about Git. Okay, so what you should do, you should like search on the Google about Git. Okay, what is actually a Git, and then you should like look on it, like how it is used to make different versions and control it in your project. Okay, so these are the prerequisites. And if I come to the next slide, so the next thing is that, like I told, you should need to learn about Git and GitHub. Okay, so you can even go through any web development or Android development. Okay, so what I talk, like you should know how to operate Git and GitHub. So actually these are the different languages, you can say. Okay, these are sorry, my bad. Actually, like Git and GitHub, Git is a tool and GitHub is actually a website in which you upload your projects and maintain that projects. Okay, you can make it open source and people can contribute in your project. So the thing comes stepwise. You need to learn any language, then you need to make self projects, then you can learn about Git and github.com. Okay, and the next is, like, if you know about this thing, web development and Android development, then it will be a really very good thing, because it will give you a, like, you can say, a good start. Because if you find any open source softwares, you can see that many projects are related to web development or either Android development. Either there is an app or there is a website. So there are a lot of projects, so it will be it will help you to contribute into it. Okay, then just move to the next slide. Okay, next is you should pick a, now the question comes, like, I am done with the, you can say, language thing. I have learned Git and I have learned about GitHub. Now I am ready to contribute into open source. Okay, so you are now, let's suppose I'm thinking like you are now done with the prerequisites and you have to contribute into any open source project. So what should you do? Okay, your first task should be to not contribute into a big project like this VLC media player, VS Code, or like many like public labs, Force Asia. These are actually a big organizations and they have really good projects. Okay, but your start should be from a beginner friendly project. Okay, because why I'm saying this, because whenever, let's suppose, whenever you learn any subject, let's suppose you are learning a topic in mathematics. Okay, what happens, like, when you first of all learn the topic, then you solve some easy questions in it, then you move on to some tough questions. Similarly, over here in open source, what you have to do, you have to first of all pick a project which is actually a basic, okay, which is actually a very beginner friendly. Then you should learn about how to contribute into it, then you can move to it. So I have mentioned three of the you can say websites or links. Okay, you can like take a screenshot of this. Okay, so first website is upforgrabs.net. So actually this website contains a lot of beginner friendly open source project in which you can contribute. Okay, and the next is actually it is a repository for GitHub repo. Okay, like you can see many projects over there, and there is also a website known as codetryage.com. So in these websites you will be able to get a beginner friendly project. Okay, so this is now how to pick a beginner friendly project. Okay, now the thing comes, like, learn about two basic things. Okay, whenever you want to contribute, you need to learn about two basic things. First is creating an issue. Okay, what is creating an issue? Let's suppose you are operating VLC media player. Okay, and let's suppose you found some issue. Let's suppose a issue is there, like the fast forward button is not working. Let's suppose that. Okay, so you see that that is actually a bug because it's not working. So what happens, that then you go to their repository VLC media player and you report that bug. Okay, And what you can do, let's suppose you are using VLC media player and you want to add a feature in it. Let's suppose you want to propose a feature to the VLC. So like I want to add this feature, so that is also you can create an issue. Next is creating a pull request. So what is a pull request? Like you have to submit the code you wrote for the review by the code owner. So I will just show you few things. Okay. So actually, this is actually a website of Oppia. Okay, this is in which I like cleared Google Summer of Code. So this is the actually GitHub repo of Oppia. Okay, and you can see that there are sections above issues, pull request. Okay, let's suppose I go to the issues. So you can see that like these are all the issues mentioned over here. Okay, these are all the issues. Okay, so if you want to like take any one of the issue, what you can do that, let's suppose if you're starting from you can say you are starting from beginning. Okay, what you can do, you can click on label and you will see that there are a few tags which you will see that it will say like easy one. Okay, I will just look at it if there are any. Okay, yeah, here is this thing. You can see that here it's mentioned good first issue. It means that like let's suppose you are contributing, so you have to in the starting try to look up for these issues because these issues are really very easy. Okay, you can easily solve that. Okay, and once you have like solved that issue, what you can do, you need to go to pull request and you have to create a pull request over here. Pull request means like you have done the changes and you want to tell the user that you should merge my changes into your code, and then you can continue. And if you want to make a new issue, you can see here is a button of new issue. You can create your own issue also over here. Okay, so the next part is, okay, so this is actually a very important or a good guide to start contributing. So this is Tapaswini Pathak. Actually, she has made a repository getting started with contributing to open source. If you Google it up, you will get the first link. So you can go to that and take a look over that. Okay. So now let's suppose after contributing to beginner friendly projects, you now have to choose a good and big project of your domain and just start your contribution there. Okay, let's suppose you are done with a beginner friendly project. Now what you have to do, you have to choose a good project. Okay, good means like it should be a big, like I talked about like VS Code, VLC, Force Asia, NumPy, or like SymPy, or you can say Oppia is public labs is there, and like many more are there. Okay, so you can pick any one of them. Okay, and start contributing into it. Okay, like start your contribution into them. Now start contributing the code into that organization. Okay. Also, like if you want to go to some good organizations, what you can do, like you can directly search on Google as GSoC Archives. Uh, Okay, so you can see that there will be the organizations related to Google Summer of Code in 2019, and you can even find different organizations over here. Okay, and whichever organization do you like, let's suppose I filter by category, and I see like I want to get the organization related to web. Okay, I'm interested in web, and I have to look upon the organization related to web. So you can see that like these are different organizations which are related to web, and like Oppia is one of them because I picked related to web only. So actually these are different organizations which are related to web. And let's suppose you are like interested in some different thing. Let's suppose this thing, graphics, video, audio, and virtual reality, because this is very much trending these days. So like you can see these different things which are related to VR and like different things. Okay, and let's suppose you want to go into security side, like many people are interested in security side. So these are even organizations which are related to security sites. So the thing is that like you won't be facing any difficulty in finding the organizations. Okay, so now what you have to do, you have to choose a big project. Okay, good project in fact I can say. Okay, now the question comes, like once you have you can say choose a good project. Okay, let's suppose I take an example that you have chosen Oppia. Okay, so now how to pick issues in it. Okay, so I can see that one question is coming like, can you please share any resource to learn about creating a new issue or new pull request. Okay, so what I will do, okay, so you can see that as I talked to you about, like now you have to pick the issue. So what I told you, go to label. Okay, and you will see something like this, good first issue. Okay, so actually these are very beginner friendly issues which you can easily resolve. Like once you do a little bit of research, you will be easily able to resolve that thing. Okay, so you need to like look upon these issues. Okay, try to contribute into it. Okay, so the thing is that like how you create a pull request. Okay, first of all you have to clone this repository. Okay, you have to clone this repository in your system. Then you have to make the changes in it. Then you have to push the changes into push the changes, and then you have to create the pull request. Okay, so this is the way. Actually, this is the, you can say, a tutorial of Git. So this will be very easy. If you look at the any Git tutorial, you will be able to easily understand this thing. Okay, so let's now move forward. Okay, like now I see that you are able to pick the issue. You have to just pick the beginner friendly issue as I talked to you about, which are marked as easy, beginner friendly, or first comers or newcomers. Okay, so these are very beginner friendly issues. Okay, next what you have to do, you, okay, now the question comes, like let's suppose you have picked the issue. Now the question comes, like how much time does it take to resolve an issue? Okay, so in your starting phase, it will take some time to resolve the issue because you are new to the code base. Okay, let's suppose you are contributing in a different project which you don't know from starting. Okay, so it will take some time. Okay, like I have just added a number, like it may take you up to 15 days to resolve an easy issue in starting. So that's not the thing that it can take you up to only 1 or 2 days. It might take you up to 15 days. But the thing is that you don't need to give up. You just need to figure it out, like how you will be able to fix it. And once you are familiar with the easy issues, okay, like you are familiar with the easy issues, how to resolve that, then you would be able to look upon some good issues that is medium level or high level difficulty. Okay, that may require up to 1 month. Okay, but let's not discuss that thing because you are not just now starting, so you have to pick any of the easy issues in the starting. Okay, so the thing is that like asking for help from the organization admins. Let's suppose you picked the issue and like you are not getting any idea like how to resolve it. Okay, so the thing is that you are like allowed to ask your doubts on the community channel. So what is community channel? Okay, I will show you. Let's suppose I go to the Oppia repository. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll go over here. Okay, let's go down here. You will see a readme thing. Okay, readme thing. So this is actually very much important to read this. Okay, so readme is only because you have to read this. Okay, so you can see about like Oppia is an online learning tool that enables anyone to easily create and something like that. And you can see how to install Oppia, how to contribute into Oppia. You can see all the guidelines, like what are different guidelines you need to understand. And there is one thing called Gitter join chat. So it actually Oppia has a Gitter channel in which like all of the Oppia members are there, and they discuss about the different doubts, different issues they are facing, and you can easily ask your doubt over there. So similarly, every, you can say, every website or every open source project has a channel. Either it can be on Gitter, it can be on Slack, it can be on internet relay chat, IRC, or any other communication medium. But there will be a channel and you will be able to communicate with the mentors or members over there, so they will clarify your doubt. Also, one thing, like don't try to ping someone personally unless it's very much important. Okay, try to like stick to the channel only. Don't go personally. Okay, don't like directly talk to the member because it will be really like not a good practice, I can say. But if unless it's very much important, then you can ping that thing. Okay, so the next part is that you don't need to get demotivated because this process takes a long time. Okay, I should not say like I will not like say you like in 1 month you will be able to like be an open source king, because it will take you much time. So at last I can say don't get demotivated. Consistency is the key to success, and that's all I can say. Okay, like you have to be consistent and that will be really good. Okay, because once you're consistent you will be able to like get into open source very easily. You will be able to crack, or you will be able to like crack issues very easily. Okay, so now comes the main important part. Okay, like about my journey, like how I started into open source, because I have talked like many things right now. but you all should know about my journey, because like I'm not from like IIT or NIT. Okay, I'm also from a three-tier college. Okay, so let's now learn. Okay, so like when I entered into college, I didn't know about anything regarding this thing, you can say open source or coding even all. Okay, I just know that like there's something like few languages in which I have to code. I didn't even know the language names all. I just know about like Python or C++, nothing else. Okay, so what my journey was, so what I did, like when I reached the college, what happened, like there were many, you can say, hubs in my college. Like in your college there will be also hubs, and there was one hub known as OSDC. Okay, so it was like open source developer, you can say circles or club. Okay, so it was a club of my college in which like there were members who used to like contribute to open source, and they have a meetup weekly in which they discuss what they did this week and all kind of that thing. So I like just, and when I reached my first year, I just like got into that, you can say, hub, and like I used to think about that, like what they're discussing, because that open source thing was very much new to me, because I was I like at that time I was also not knowing coding, so it was really new to me. But what I did, like I started to, first of all, you can say, getting the basics of any language. Okay, you can say, like I in the first year, what I did, I learned Python very well. You can say, I made two projects in it. Okay, I made two projects in it. Okay, so like I at the end of first year, you can say that I was very much confirmed in Python. You can say I had the skills of learning. I had the skills of Python language, and I have made few projects in it. So like I was very much able to, you can say, understand Python. So now my, you can say, my target in second year was that I wanted to like get selected for Google Summer of Code. Okay, because it was really you can say hype in my college, and actually it's a hype in India also. Okay, so like I just wanted to get into it. Okay, so what I did in second year, okay, like I just like learned about different I just learned about this thing. I like which path I have told you, I just followed that part. I learned about Git. Okay, I took a beginner friendly project from up for grabs, and then I like contributed very much few issues, like one or two basic issues. Like you can say that even it was a typo means like it was a spelling mistake, so I just resolved that. And in the second year, what you can say that I came to know about web development. Okay, so like I made a website, you can say, of library management system. So I get to know about web development. So now I was very much, you can say, aware about programming and little bit of development. Okay, so what I did, I now was very much focused to like get into open source. So I was looking up to different organizations. So I landed into Oppia because I was knowing web development like earlier, since that time. So I looked upon Oppia. So I started contributing from November 2018. Okay, and from November 2018 to till February 2019, I contributed a lot. Okay, I resolved many issues over there. But the one thing is that my start was very slow. Okay, because till December I was only able to solve, you can say, two issues. Okay, so you can say my start was very slow because I was actually new to programming, new to development or open source. So my start was very slow. But eventually, when I took the pace, I started contributing a lot. Like I was dedicating, you can say, 6 to 8 hours in programming daily. Okay, so I literally tried a lot, and then I became the member in February 2019. So I was a core team member of Oppia in 2019. Okay, so it was really a proud moment for me. Okay, so like next was like what was my involvement in the Oppia team, like what I did in Oppia team. Okay, like I was a core team member. So like I was part of but like there are a lot of teams. Okay, like there are a lot of teams in this thing. Okay, in any company there are a lot of teams. So I was part of bug fixing team, contributors onboarding team, dev workflow team, and I was also a release coordinator. Okay, so these were the involvement of my OPR team. Okay, now come the main question. Like I then applied for Google Summer of Code. I made my proposal, okay, for Google Summer of Code, and I applied in Oppia only. And the thing was that like I was selected for Google Summer of Code, which was really a proud moment for me. Okay, so it was like, you can say, all my hard work was like, you can say, it became fruitful, or you can say it just like went well. Okay, and I like cleared Google Summer of Code. I successfully completed all three milestones. Okay. Okay, so now like people are asking like, okay, what is Google Summer of Code? Okay, so if I say Google Summer of Code is kind of a mentorship program, in simple words, you can say that it's kind of a mentorship program in any open source organization which Google selects. Okay, and what you have to do, you have to apply in that organization. What you mean by apply? You have to like propose. You have to write a proposal on a project which you will be building for that organization. Okay, in the summer time, that is in the 3 months. Okay, so you can clearly see that it's meaning Google Summer of Code. Okay, so summer means like you have to code in summer. Okay, you have to code in summer. So what you do, you write a proposal. Okay, and by how you write a proposal, you like actually whatever the projects the organizations have opted for, you write a proposal on any one of them. Let's suppose I have organizations and I propose that I want to make three projects. Let's suppose A, B, and C. And let's suppose you like the project C. Then what you will do, you will submit me a proposal to that you will be trying to complete this project for me. Okay, in the summer. Okay, under the Google Summer of Code thing. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to like complete the project. And the best part about this is that Google Summer of Code, that you need to learn like you will be learning many things during this journey, Google Summer of Code. I can say that because I have the experience of Google Summer of Code, because I can say that you will be learning a lot of things over these 3 months. Okay, in Google Summer of Code. And it's actually a very interesting thing. Okay, you make really like your development skills go to a really good level. Okay, I can say that. Okay, so also one thing like I just forgot, like you don't need to worry about the stipend thing. The stipend is very much good in this Google Summer of Code. Like in my case, I got approximately $3,000. Okay, for 3 months. Okay, so the stipend is very good. Okay, so you don't need to worry about that. Just focus on your open source contribution and your coding skills. Okay, the next is like, what are the benefits of contributing into open source? Okay, so like these are the benefits. First of all, the benefits are your coding skills are improved. Okay, that let's suppose most of the persons do competitive programming. Okay, so that is pretty much different from this. But in this thing, in open source contribution, your coding skills get really well, because you have to code actually at a good level, how the code is actually written in the industrial industries. Okay, so you have to write according to that thing. Okay, so you have to actually you write the code in that you can say style. Okay, so it actually increases your coding skills. Okay, next is your network increases. Okay, like because like in my case, when I was like working for Oppia. Okay, the thing was that like I met many peoples online virtually over there. Okay, like I even was in touch with many Google engineers over there, because the thing was that that project was even of Google only, so Google engineers used to manage that thing. And I was also in touch with many like IITians, those who contributed into that. So it was really a good experience, I can say that. Next is you learn the process of software engineering. Okay, so the what is the software engineering process? Like once you first of all, let's suppose you have to make a project. What you do, you first of all make a proposal for that, then you implement that project. So this is the process of software engineering which you learn. And you at least write a code which benefits the community. Okay, you are writing the code which benefits the community. Why benefiting the community? As I gave you the example of VLC, let's suppose you are actually adding a feature into it, so that software is going to be used by many people. So your code is being run on many machines. So now you can say that you are actually a programmer, or you are actually a developer, because your code is being run in many machines, and like you have done really something fruitful. Okay, so this is the thing of benefits. So at last, that thank you very much for like attending this session. and I hope you got the insights of it, of Google Summer of Code. Now I would be taking questions from your side, so you can ask the questions in the comment box. Okay, so yeah, so the first question is that okay, so Actual is asking, what if the issue is already resolved? Can we still contribute to it? And no, actually, you can't because if the issue is already solved, how can you contribute to it? You have to pick a new issue. Okay, you have to pick a new issue, then you have to contribute. So Ashwin is saying, can you share more about Google Summer of Code? Okay, what Google Summer of Code is? Okay, so I told you it's a mentorship program in which you code for 3 months. Okay, you have to get selected first of all in it. Okay, so for getting selected, you have to write a proposal for it. Proposal for any project you will be building for that organization. So first of all, you have to pick any organization which is selected for Google Summer of Code. Okay, what happens? Google first of all releases the list. Okay, it actually releases a list of the organizations which are selected for Google Summer of Code. Then you can apply in any one of them which you like. Okay, then what you have to do, like then you have to apply means then you have to like write the proposal, and then you have to wait for it. Okay, like if a proposal gets selected, okay, for the Google Summer of Code, you will be like continuing it, otherwise not. But the thing is that you can still do open source contributions, because that's a very good, you can say, thing to start. Okay, like this thing in your development journey. Okay, because once you are, okay, like I will just give you one thing which will be very beneficial for you. Okay, like you just start contributing from as soon as possible, then only you will have a good chance of getting selected for Google Summer of Code. Okay, so Soumya Jha is asking, proposal could be ongoing issue or which dev is being done or any issue that I can find. Okay. The thing is that Soumya, the proposal should be, as I told you, like what happens, like you have to actually like choose a project which Oppia is proposing. Okay, you have to choose a project any organization is proposing. Let's suppose I have an organization XYZ, and that organization has proposed has put on up 3 projects which it needs to be built. Okay, which it needs to build for the summer. Then you have to propose and on any one of them. Okay, there might be a chance that on that project many people submit their proposal, but the selection is done on the basis of proposal. So you should have to make a very good proposal, a very, like you can say, concrete proposal, so that the person who looks at it selects you easily. So that's the thing. Vishal is asking how to include our open source project in our resume. Okay, okay, you're okay, Vishal. Like, I didn't get a question actually. So the thing is that, okay, you are asking how to include our open source project in our resume. Okay, what you can do, like whatever project you make, you can add that in your resume. Okay, and let's suppose you contribute into an organization. Okay, okay. So Vishal, let's say I have cleared a issue of some open source project. Okay, how to include. Okay, so what you can do that in resume, you can add as contributions into open source. You can add a section of contributions into open source, and you can add various some good issues which you have resolved. In this way, you can add this in the resume. Okay, that will be really good. And then uh, Siddharth is asking, sir, give us some tips for GSoC proposal. Okay, so Siddharth, for GSoC proposal, what I can say that, like once you are starting with the proposal, try to review it from the mentor frequently. Okay, like let's suppose I have built this much, I have built 5 pages of my proposal. Try to get it reviewed by the mentor. Okay, who is the mentor of that organization? Try to get it reviewed by them. Okay, because they will give you the actual, you can say, tips. Okay, because it depends on different organizations. So try to get help from the mentor. And one thing, like look upon the previous year proposal, that will really help you. Okay, look upon the previous year proposal of that organization which were selected. That will really help you to make a good and concrete proposal. Okay. Okay, Kabir is asking, I have programming related question just when you just stuck. What's the problem? There's no way can you see solve the problem. What to do in that? Okay. So Kabir is asking, I have a programming related question, that what to do when you are just stuck in some problem. Okay. So Kabir, like, are you asking about related to competitive programming? Can you just clarify that? Because it will be good if you can clarify this thing. Okay, but still I would ask, but I would like answer it generally for, okay, like let's suppose in any programming, okay, like or in any open source contribution, okay, you are stuck at any issue, you picked the issue, but you are not able to resolve that. Okay, like you are not getting any hints even for that. So just ask the, you can say, mentor of that organization on the community channel. Okay, just ask for the help for the community channel. Okay, they will guide you how to resolve that thing, because when I picked up the issue for Oppia in the starting, I really, like you can say, I was really not aware about it, like how to resolve that thing. But I asked a few help, and I also did a research on my own also. Okay, the thing is that you have to do your kind of homework, I can say, because you need to first of all look upon you look first of all yourself, then you should ask. Okay, like you should not go like this directly you are asking, but you should first of all try to resolve yourself, then go for asking. Okay, so I hope, Kabir, I answered your question. Okay, how to start from just beginning? Gaurav is asking how to start from just beginning. Okay, so Gaurav, what I can say that as I told you about the prerequisites. Okay, first of all, learn any programming language. It can be C, C++, Java, Python. Make a good command on it. Okay, like very good command, I can say. You have learned about their OOPS concept and very much thing. Learned about the basics of it. Make some projects, and then what I told, go to the you can say, like go to the like or a different organization page and then start contributing. Okay, so like what you can do, that I have also written two articles on medium.com. Okay, so what you can do, that you either you can connect me on LinkedIn or on GitHub. Okay, when you will go to my GitHub, you will get my Medium link. Okay, I will just show you once. Okay, okay, so you will get my Medium link, and like I have posted few articles over here also. Okay, so like I have added some articles. You can see that like I have added how to start contributing to open source, and I have also added my like this thing GSoC, how I got selected in GSoC 2019. So you can take a look at it. Okay, like you can read it, and you will be easily able to understand about it. Okay, you will really get the basics. Okay, uh, Vishal, is beginner level knowledge enough for Git of Git and Open? So yeah, beginner level knowledge is enough for Git. Like you should learn about Git, few commands of Git, like pull, push, commit, add, Git clone, something like that. Git branch. So that is enough. Muhib is asking, will competitive programming help us in solving issues and projects as CP improve logic? So in that way, okay, Muib, actually, this thing, like competitive programming, will help you a little bit, but I can't say it will help you a lot. Okay, because development is actually very, I can say, different than competitive programming, but still you can apply the logic over there. But for development, you need to learn the frameworks first of all, that because that's very much important. Okay, so that in that way, CP will not help, but CP will help you in creating the logic, maybe. Okay, for creating the logic, it will help you. So for development, you need to like focus on development also. Okay, like it's not like that you have learned CP, then you are will be able to do that thing. Okay, so actual the is asking, what is more preferable, competitive coding or industrial projects? Okay, so actually, like I am also a student right now. Okay, so the thing is that, like, according to my experience, what I have like learned, I will say about my experience only. Okay, I can't say like how to do different things and all. I will just tell. Okay, so I can say both the things are very much important, because competitive coding helps you to like build your brain, your logic thing. Okay, and projects help you to make a good resume, I can say. If you have contributed a lot, you can make a good resume. You can add different projects, you can get the experience of development, which is also very necessary. Okay, so I can say try to maintain a balance in between those. Okay, because competitive programming is also like is necessary to, like you can say, get into some big tech giants like Amazon, Google, Facebook and all. So it's also necessary. Okay, but try to maintain a balance. If you maintain a balance, that will be really good. Okay, Kabir, I have several courses in my college. I'm learning Java and Kotlin sector. Sure, is that I'm getting really confused with learning these as syntax is different. How to cope up? Okay, Kabir, I got your point. like you are learning very much different languages. Okay, the thing is that Kabir, like I would not like, since it's in your college, so like you can take it a little bit like don't take stress in it, because college exams can be easily passed. Okay, so I would tell you, like, focus on any one or two language and master it. Okay, because company would not be, if you like going into interview or you're contributing into open source, it would not be asking many, like tens of 10 20 number of language. It will only ask you like one or two language, you know it well, you will do it well. That's all I can say. What are the other options we have apart from GSoC? Okay, so Bhanu, actually there are many other options. Okay, apart from Google Summer of Code. Okay, like there are many open source programs. Okay, like if I say about a little bit of those, like many universities like IIT Patna, IIT Kharagpur runs a program similarly like Google Summer of Code, so that will be really helpful for all of you. I have seen on LinkedIn that many organization known as Girl Script organizes a Summer of Code program, kind of like that. You can also contribute in that, because that will also give you a much more good knowledge, I can say, because I have but I haven't done it that Girl Script one, but I think so you will be able to get the good knowledge. But and there are many, like for girls there is outreachy, and there is also a like many more, you can say. Okay, I'll just uh, send you a few links of that. Okay, so if you like go to my this article. Okay, I will just show you one thing. Maybe you will be okay. Okay, yeah. So here is one link, I can say, in which you will see many open source programs which are there. Yeah, here is the list. So you will see many open source programs. Okay, so this is the link, I can say, Tapeswini Pathak open source programs. You can search it on Google and you will be seeing many open source programs. Okay, and you can apply in any one of them. There are many competitions also for open source program. Okay, and these are some universities, summer of code kind of thing. So you can see like which has stipend, what is the timeline, and all. You can see that thing. So this will be very good resource for all of you. Okay. Any more questions coming up? Okay, so I hope you liked the session, today's session. I hope it was insightful for you. And if you have any doubt, you can connect me on LinkedIn. Okay, and you can connect me on GitHub or wherever else, and you can like message me over there also. I will be very free to help you out.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, Mansi, you're audible.
I hope all of you have got your doubts cleared regarding open source contribution. Thank you, Anubhav, for taking out time for this session and everyone for joining in today. Don't forget to share your feedback in the form shared with you in the comments. Have a nice day.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
so thank you guys. Okay, thank you, Mansi, for giving me this opportunity. I hope you guys like this session. So I hope you start contributing from now. And yeah, you should target for next year Google Summer of Code and just like do it. Okay. Okay, then bye bye.